Hello everyone and welcome to Apna Friends channel. We have our very active member from community, Jasbir Singh, who is actually going to stand in the council elections as well. And Jasbir Singh ji is standing from anti-ward from the officer. So Singh ji, welcome to Apna Friends channel. And first of all, I just want to say very best wishes for your election campaign as well. So to my viewers, I just want to let you know that as we are introducing few candidates, we are trying our best to introduce those candidates who are active in community, who are helping the community so that you can actually choose whom to vote. And if you have any questions, feel free to send us your questions so that we can ask those questions directly to the candidates, and it will be helpful for you as well to decide whom you want to vote. So Jasbir Singh ji, first of all, once again, I want to say welcome to our Apna Friends channel. And if we want to start, can you please introduce yourself just a bit for the people who actually want to give you vote?
Hello everyone. I would like to first and foremost thank Apna Friends channel for giving me this opportunity to talk about my candidacy for standing in Henty ward in Cardinia Shire. My name is Jasbir Singh, and I am an independent candidate who has decided to put his hand up to stand for this council election.
You just mentioned that you're standing for a council election. Can you please tell us a little bit about your motivation? Why are you standing for the council election as well?
Now, why I'm standing for the council election, this has to do with what I have been doing in the community. I have worked a lot in the community, running a lot of community projects with various, multicultural communities, especially starting out with the Sikh community, because that's where I'm from. And the thing here is, I find that there are a lot of opportunities for the multicultural community that is available in the council. The council might already be doing some programs, which is well and good. But what I'm trying to do is bring a alternative voice there, a voice for the multicultural community to be there, to have a voice, to have a say. And certain issues that affect the community, could be social issue, could be mental health issue, could be family violence issues, could be so many other issues, and even the elderly issues. So I find that we need to have more programs, more funding allocated, and more attention given to this side of the community, which is the well-being of the community in Cardinia Shire. And for me, in the sense where I'm standing, is the Henty ward residents.
You have mentioned about the multicultural issues. So what issues you want to address here? What issues you want to bring in, especially when it comes to multiculturalism? So if you can attach those issues with the multiculturalism, which you have already mentioned, that would be great as well.
Now, in the multicultural space, now what we have achieved in the past is setting up the Sikh Australian Support of Family Violence, which I'll talk about a bit later. So what we found that in a lot of multicultural communities, many of them are not aware of, council programs or the Shire programs, sometimes even the local state government programs, and they find that difficulty in accessing it. So we want to create an avenue, a bridge or a pathway that we find that it's easy for them to access this program, and for us to even go down to the grounds, and find out more of what the issues they are facing. Now, we know there's a lot of mental health issues going on within multicultural communities. Many of them find that even in getting employment, sometimes it's a challenge, because in terms of writing resume, cover letter, even getting some form of guidance of a career path. A lot of them find difficulty finding their way towards this way. And when they have multicultural events, how we can, showcase their culture, which is very rich. Every culture is rich. And we want to showcase their event in the main space of where every other community is gathered in the whole of Cardinia Shire. I know in the past they have Harmony Day, they're doing a fantastic job, but we want to bring more of that to the table, and a lot of mental health issues with with the multicultural community sometimes does not want to bring up to the mainstream service providers. So we want to look at what other ways of avenues we can do that. And we have run these programs within our community and even with the multicultural communities on how, to have that little trust that your voice will be heard, there will be no form of discrimination, because sometimes they might feel discriminated. They might feel, I think, I'm afraid to ask. There's a bit of anxiety that, if I go there and ask for help, will they look at me equally? Will I be looked at differently? I'm not saying there's discrimination. There might be some, the community might feel
hesitation as well.
Yeah, this is what some of the feedback I get. So I'm highlighting this feedback. I'm not saying anybody is discriminating anyone, but this is the feedback I get from some of the community people that I work with, even my own community. So this is the voice I'm trying to bring there. An important thing is a trusted voice that they can trust, that what I hear is what I will present, regardless of any political stance anyone may have, because I'm coming as an independent person and I'm coming in as a people's voice.
Very nicely, Jasbir, you have mentioned that you have got a feedback as well, where people actually, maybe as you mentioned, that maybe hesitate or maybe discriminate. We do not know what the correct word is. But then, because you are actively working in a community as well for so long, if I just ask that, what are your achievements so far in your previous works which you have done for community or in the multiculturalism? So can you please tell us few?
If we start off with achievements, now I have been in this space for the past 10 years here in Melbourne, Australia, and about the past 7 to 8 years in Cardinia Shire. And my background back from Singapore has been 15, 20 years working with community, multicultural communities. And here I've worked with Anglo-Saxon communities as well as multicultural communities. Now, some of the achievement that we have done, we know we're part of the Cardinia Interfaith Network, where we have run a lot of interfaith programs for the community. We have worked with during the Harmony Day, we have brought forward, the Sikh community, cultural practice of tying turban, getting experience of tying a turban, getting the gurdwaras in this locality to bring food to serve to the community. And so did the South Sudanese, and many other communities have come forward. All the faith come together to be part of this multicultural Harmony Day program. And we are all part of the organizing committee. So we have put this together with the council in the past and brought these to the community. So I've even worked with the Living and Learning Center, who have also hosted this event many times, and giving them the support. And the other thing is being part of the Sikh Interfaith Council of Victoria. I'm part of KC Cardinia Dandenong Interfaith Network, where I get to hear all the different faith, community leaders who are talking about what's happening within their community, having a better understanding. And in the past, now it's already, I think, 7 to 8 years. In 2003, as a community leader, Department of Justice came up with this program, which was called Challenge Family Violence Program, which was to educate community and faith leaders about family violence, to create the awareness so that we can bring this to our communities, to our churches, to our mosques, to our temples, to our gurdwaras, and talk about family violence so that people will understand what is going on and women will feel safe to want to come forward. Now, trying to do this was a challenge in the beginning. So after attending the program for 2 years, we got training, professional training, and all of us put together our resources. We are part of the working group as well. We created a resource material which you can find on even in Cardinia or Dandenong Council website. The program is called Challenge Family Violence Program. And this resource material has got saying of different faith scriptures that speaks about equality. And this resource has been very useful, and many people all over Melbourne has been using it. So that was one achievement. And then doing this, I had a lot of calls within our own community, and sometimes from different community, because by word of mouth through our Punjabi community, they tell some Hindu girl or Indian Muslim girl, or some others, they will call me and say, I have this problem, can you help me? So when we started helping and listening to them and referring them to the various, mainstream services, we found out that they always asked us to send a referral letter, and we did not have an organization. I was just part of the Sikh Interfaith Council of Victoria. Then in 2015, we registered an organization called Sikh Australian Support for Family Violence. And then we started to create this program, because when we want to talk about family violence, many cross-cultural communities find it a bit of taboo to, when they hear family violence, oh, we are not going to that program. So we came up with this concept called Healthy Families, Healthy Relationship program, which we run over 3 weeks. And this, we talk about what are the challenges and constraints families face when they first move to Australia. It could be unemployment, could be, trying to, assimilate with the mainstream society, can't speak English, language barriers, so many issues. And that can create a kind of stress in the family, can't understand the children go to school, they understand the Australian culture, they come home, the family is still with their Indian culture or whatever culture they are coming from. So it can create conflict. And within this conflict, between husband and wife, the conflicts do happen. So how they can manage those parenting skills and then moving to healthy relationship, respectful relationship. And then we talk about, what is family violence? What do you think family violence is? A lot of people think it's physical. There's so many types of family violence. They are psychological, mental, religious, spiritual abuse, so many types of abuse. So we created this program to create awareness within the multicultural community, and we have been running it. So in 2018, we got a bit of funding from the state government, and we have partnered with the council and WISE, Women Health Southeast, to create this program that can be delivered within the different communities. So what we have done now, we have created this program called Healthy Family, Healthy Relationship into a framework. And then what we have done now, we have created information sessions to attract community leaders to come forward, volunteers, to take training from us. It's called Train the Trainer. So we are training them to become a trainer, to run this program within their communities. And the beautiful about this program is interfaith and intra-faith. There's that component in it where if a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu pick up this program and run within their own community, they can actually quote their own scriptures, whether it's the Bible or whether it's the Bhagavad Gita or whether it's the Quran. They can, or when I run, I quote the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji from the verses, the Bani verses, what the Bani says about equality. So this program is the first model program that has been created that I know of, which is very culture friendly. Anybody can pick it up and run. So we have already done that. We're waiting for the lockdown to be over and then run this training face to face with these volunteer community educators to take this program and run within their own communities. So this is one of the milestone of the greatest achievement that we have done within the community to help all communities in Cardinia Shire.
Really great, Jasbir. When you mentioned the start, you mentioned about family violence. I was about to ask you about the family violence. I've written all the questions, but you have explained so well that exactly this is what we need. Being a migrant, we do not know the rules here. Like not, if I'm talking about not my community, not one culture, all the migrants, they are facing this issue, and definitely family violence is going far beyond the expectations. And then but you have explained so well, and that's really great that you're helping those people, and once again being a voice for those who are in need. And especially when there's a family violence, there's a mental health issues comes as well. Then children face all the issues as well. Yes. Not only husband and wife, children, whole family. When we talk about family, whole family. But you have explained so well. That's so great. And one great thing I really want to add, that you mentioned that it is not only for one community, all the communities from different cultures, they are actually coming and joining you in the cause. So that's really, really great. But moving back to the election campaign, because this is one of your achievements. But then just want to know if there is anyone in the community who can actually watch for your skills as well.
Oh, well, there are many who would watch for me, but I will just like to mention some who I've spoken to. I've been very busy because running for council, it's not a joke. It's a lot of work. I understand, standing for council to put up your hand is easy. But when you start to do the work, you understand the amount of work involved, even in getting registration, campaigning, and listening to some of the council meetings online. There's a lot of reading required. You need to know a lot of, projects that are going on, the tenders, the red tape that you have to go through to ensure, that you can advocate for what people need. So I've spoken, now everyone knows the Sikh Volunteers Australia. They're very famous. They have been helping the wider Australian community right from the bushfires, even way before the bushfires. They were already doing the free food when, at KC and Dandenong, at train stations, giving to those homeless and needies. So I have been part of their volunteer team, helping them. And if you want to ask, you can ask the president of the Sikh Volunteers Australia, who has also been part of the recent, this COVID-19 lockdown. There's always been at the front line, serving without any anything in return. We call it in the Sikh concept selfless service. It's called Seva. So one is Lakwinder Singh. He's the president of Sikh Volunteers Australia. He is willing to work for me. And the other one is among one of the elders within the South Sudanese community. His name is Jago, Mr. Jago Adonjak. I apologize if I pronounce the second part of his name wrongly, but Mr. Jago, I've worked with Mr. Jago and few other community leaders, Kenyatta, who is also the leader of the South Sudanese community, with the Sikh Australian Support Family Violence. Recently, we had a community engagement program online, and we worked with them on a joint project, to engage the community online Zoom. And we had somebody from Southeast Community Link who talked about, the rent issues, housing issues, and, Jago and one more lady, Kim, spoke about the parenting concept, what they are doing within their own workspace. And then we spoke about the Healthy Family, Healthy Relationship program we are running, and also parenting program that we are running within a community. And at the same time, we had a famous singer within the South Sudanese community. I can't remember her name, I apologize. And in between, we had her little performance, which was fantastic. The community loved it. She had her South Sudanese cultural dance and singing. And then in between, then we came in with our subtle messages of creating awareness within the South Sudanese community of what are the services available and how they can engage with the services. So that was what we did within that space. Now, another one that you can, the person I've worked with for many years is Reverend Helen Summers, OAM, who is the founder and director of the Interfaith Center of Melbourne. Helen is a lovely soul. I've worked with her on many projects, even in the city, and wherever there is a requirement, all of us within the interfaith space get together and work together for the well-being of the community. I remember there was a huge project in the city we did, I Will Dine With You. So we had a stretch of, over 100 tables sitting together, people of different communities, Anglo-Saxon, different cultures sitting together and dining together. And that's where we from the Sikh Interfaith Council Victoria provided langar, food, and we had another well-wisher from his restaurant brought free food, and we all sat together and dined together, and there was music going on. So it was called #I Will Dine With You, which was a fantastic project we did with her. And also part of the interfaith, there was, I think can't remember, is the World Harmony Week or Harmony Day. We had an Interfaith Melbourne, and all over the world there was competition where they send their gatherings to see which event will win. And we were part of that event, and that event won first prize in the whole world. I think second prize went to I think Indonesia or another country. So we were part of that panel where this program for the World Interfaith Day, if I'm not mistaken, I apologize, And I'll get you more details by then the next time. So we were part of the project, and we go way back in many years working with her. And these are the 3 people right now I would like to give. And as I get more people, the heaps of people that we can quote. But again, I understand why this is required, because as I'm a new candidate, I have not been in council before. I think it's also important for people to know what I've been doing. And I just want to be humble about it. I know it sounds a bit, he's throwing names. No, I'm just trying to put out there because people need to know. Because until we don't put ourselves out there, people won't know. Thank you.
Jasdi, I can only say that you are already working for community. You are already a face in the community, and you are already addressing those issues. The only thing is you being a speaker, being a good listener, being a good helper. As you have already mentioned, it's a great opportunity for you, or it may be a great opportunity for all those needy people who are actually bringing their issues to you, for you to be a speaker and bring those issues to the next level and try to solve those issues. Now, because I have a lot of questions, especially when you mentioned about harmony, I want to ask a lot of questions on that, especially on food and all this. But because we have limited time, so I just want to end with one question, because at the start you mentioned that standing in a council election is not an easy job, because it's not an easy just to put your hands up. So I know that you are already working in so many organizations, as you have mentioned, that you are actually looking after family violence, and then harmony issues, and then issues whatever happened, free food ban you have mentioned. I think most of the people in the community, they are not even aware of free food ban, which is happening, especially during this time. We will definitely cover that next time. But just want to know, just curiously, because you're, as mentioned, you are already working in the community, and now you are running your own, council election campaign. What about your family? How good your family, or maybe I can say how supportive your family here is for you?
Oh, well, my family is such a lovely family. I'm very blessed to have them. They're very supportive. But before I go there, I just kind of slipped my mind. My recent achievement was, you see, I'm part of the Cardinia Together We Can Steering Committee. And recently I was awarded the Tony Fitzgerald Award
Wow.
for my contribution, and I was featured in the media, in the Star and Gazette paper locally in Cardinia Shire. It's on my Facebook page. If you just go to Jasbir Singh SUROPADA candidate for Henty, Cardinia Shire, you'll see it there. So, and that award, I was kind of not aware, but I got nominated. So it was a lovely surprise for me, So, meaning to say that for me is let my work speak for itself.
That's so great.
There are words that people use. Action speaks louder than words. So I always try to do the work and let the work speak for itself. And coming back to the family, I have a lovely wife. We've been married for 33, 34 years now, and
Wow.
lovely kids. 2 boys, 2 girls. One daughter is married, and the other 3 we're all living together. As you know, in our culture, once we marry, then we move on. So the family has been very supportive in that sense. People were asking me, who's your manager? I said, okay. And my son was helping me, Prabjot. He's a lovely guy, lovely chap. And I said, Prabjot, you be my manager. He said, huh, what? I said, no, people are asking then. So he actually helped me with all the paperwork, and his name ended up in the system, and he said, okay, they need to contact somebody. I said, put your name. So he put his name. So he's helping me, my daughter is helping me, my wife is helping, my other son, my son-in-law is also helping me, so it's like a family effort. So in that sense, it's very warming, because it's not easy. It's taking time away from work is one factor. Taking time away from family is another factor. And we are doing this because we hope that more families can have more harmony within their homes. And how to have that, because many families are suffering in silence. There are a lot of crises going on, especially with this lockdown. So many homes are having so many issues. I mean, there are big issues out there which are put up in infrastructure, which is needed, which is fine. But the very small details of family going through, there are a lot of elderly in my whole street I walk, and there are many elderly people living around here. What about them? Has anybody considered what's going on in their life? We need their voices up there. So my family has been supportive in that sense, and I'm very blessed. And we hope this blessing goes to more families. And to do that, we want to, bring their voices and bring programs to their homes, do an outreach to their homes. Some people don't have access to going to these services. So we are hoping that, it's all in the planning process. You ask me now, it will take time, because when you go to the council, you got to see how things work. And then you got to remain truth to your promise and be sincere, and don't let any political influence divert you from what you want to achieve for the people. So I think that's important.
So well said, so well said that if you're working for community, be loyal to the community. That's the reason people actually choose someone to be their voice. And just be Singh ji, I can only say very, like I can, from whole community, I can say best of luck and all the best wishes to you. And to my viewers, I just want to say that if you have any questions for Jasbir ji, or if you really want to know what Jasbir ji is already doing and they have already achieved for the community, and if you have any issues, feel free to send your questions either directly to Jasbir Singh ji or to us, and we will try our best to bring those questions with Jasbir Singh ji. So, Jasbir ji, once again, very thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all the listeners. And I think what the important thing Gagan said is make your vote count, because it is your vote, it is your life, it is your family, it is your community, it is your suburb. So let's support Henty residents and all the residents in Kardinia Shire to have a better life. Thank you very much. God.